Dear electrical students, welcome to Electrical Power System lecture series. Today we are discussing about long transmission line. Previously we have discussed about short transmission lines and medium transmission lines and ABCD parameters. Today we discussed long transmission line, its introduction and its calculations. I am Manan Desai from Department of Electrical Engineering, Dr. Subhash Technical Campus, Junagadh. So after this lecture, the students can able to learn introduction of long transmission line, analysis of long transmission line with rigorous method of solution and surge impedance loading. Students, here you see in the figure, so here this is a sending end point and this is a receiving end point, and between them the equivalent circuit, in this equivalent circuit resistance, reactance, susceptance and conductance are connected throughout the transmission lines. So this is a susceptance B, this is a conductance G. Now following points are write down before we starting our lecture. The line constants, resistance, inductive reactance, capacitive reactance and conductance are uniformly distributed over the entire length of line is actually the case. See, the resistance, reactance, susceptance and conductance are entirely distributed in all over the line. Then the resistance and inductive reactance are series elements, and capacitive susceptance and leakage conductance are shunt elements. The leakage susceptance is due to the fact the capacitance exists between line and neutral, and the conductance are the energy loss occurring the leakage over the insulators or due to corona effect between the conductors. So now we can calculate the shunt in admittance. As you see the basics, Y is equal to under root G square plus B square. The leakage current through shunt admittance is maximum at the sending end of the transmission line and decrease continuously as we move towards the receiving end of the line and becomes zero at the receiving end. Now, long transmission line analysis with rigorous method. So students, here you can see the figure as mentioned here, the source and the load. This is a uniformly distributed parameters, so we have put here in a unique form. This is a Z impedance, and here the formation of admittance. Dx is the part which we can calculate. So consider this figure, and it is an infinity small length of dx of the line at distance x from the receiving end. See, this dx is distance x from the receiving end, and now let r is the resistance per unit length, x is the reactance per unit length, b is the susceptance per unit length, and G is the conductance per unit length. Then ultimately Z is equal to under root R square plus X square, impedance per unit length, and Y is equal to G square plus B square, means admittance per unit length. Now, as repeat this figure, V is a voltage per phase at the end of element towards the receiving end. See, this part is a receiving end, and as you see here the cursor, this part is a sending end. So V plus dV is a voltage per phase at the end of elements towards the sending end. VR is the voltage per phase at the receiving end, and Vs is the per phase at the sending end. IR, the current per phase at the receiving end. Is, current is the per phase at sending end. I plus Di is the current entering the element Dx, and I is the current leaving the element towards the receiving end Dx. And now the series impedance is ZDX, means Z is a impedance and Dx is the distance, and the shunt admittance is YDX. Now, obviously, after the line charge, the rise in a voltage over the element length in the direction of increasing X dV is equal to IZX, the voltage drop in element Dx. So it is a voltage drop V in the Dx part. So we can conclude the first equation, dV by dx is equal to Z into I. Similarly, the difference of current entering the element and that the leaving the element is the differentiation of current and distance. So Di is equal to V voltage into Y admittance into Dx distance. So the current drawn by this element is Di by Dx is equal to V into Y. So you can see here in equation 1, the impedance is multiplied with current, and in equation 2, the voltage is multiplied with admittance, vice versa. So now differentiating the expression 1 with reference to x, so it is double derivative d square V by dx square is equal to Z into derivation of I with reference to x, Di by dx is equal to Z into V into Y. So admittance and impedance multiplied with voltage. The solution of above differentiation equation is V is equal to A1 E under root YZX plus A2 E minus under root YZX. So it is equation 4. Now A1 and A2 are unknown constant. So in previous slide, as we have see, A1 and A2 are unknown constant with reference to equation 4. We can differentiate it with reference to x, and now the voltage V will differentiate, and equation 5 is dV by dx is equal to under root YZ A1 E under root YZX minus A2 E minus YZX. From equation 1, we have I is equal to 1 upon Z dV by dx. So ultimately I, it is shown in equation 6. So we got I. Now equation 4 and 5, we can receive a V voltage V and current I equations from unknown constant of A1 and A2. The values of A1 and A2 can be determined by the applying receiving end conditions as under. T at the time of T is equal to 0, X is equal to 0. So V is equal to VR and I is equal to IR. And substituting the values in equation 4 and 6, we get these two equations 7 and 8. So we got receiving end voltage is equal to these two constants A1 and A2, and receiving end current is under root Y by Z A1 minus A2. This Y by Z is this y by z or z upon y is a constant called characteristic constant zc, and under root yz is another constant called propagation constant, and this propagation constant is called as gamma. These both complex quantities from equation 7 and 8, we have v and I equation. A1 is equal to 1 upon 2 Vr plus 1 upon 2 Ir under root Z by Y. And A2 is equal to 1 upon 2 Vr minus 1 upon 2 Ir Z by Y. So from constants of A1 and A2, we can get the expressions in the form of voltage and current. So ultimately we got the equation number 9 and equation number 10. You can see here in screen. Expanding the rearranging the equation 9 and 10. 9 and 10, this equation will be rearranged, and the final equation 11, V is equal to VR cos H gamma X plus IR ZC sin H gamma X. And for the equation of current, IR cos H gamma X plus VR by ZC sin H gamma X. The sending end voltage Vs and sending end current Is can be obtained by substituting X is equal to I L in the above equation. So Vs is equal to Vr cos H gamma L plus IRZC sin H gamma L. So we can replace the X, means distance X is replaced by the length of line L. So we got equation number 13 and 14 in the form of cos H sin H. Now gamma L is equal to YZL, propagation constant. So YL into ZL, so ultimately under root big Y into big Z. So where Z is a total impedance of the line and Y is the total admittance of the line. See, repeat, under root YZ, where Y is the total admittance and Z is the total impedance. The expressions for the sending end and voltage and sending end currents are Is is equal to IR cos H YZ plus VR by ZC sin H YZ. This is equation number 15. And similarly, sending end voltage is equal to receiving end voltage cos H YZ plus IR ZCH. So we got the sending end current and voltage and receiving end current and voltage. So comparing above equations with the general voltage and current equations of the line, we have now ABCD constant as per our conditions. So what is our conditions? The conditions is A is equal to D. Parameter A and parameter D both are the same. So here in the equation of 15 and 16, A and D are the same. A is equal to D is equal to cos H by Z. You can see now B is equal to ZC sin H by Z, characteristic impedance. Then C is equal to 1 upon ZC sin H by Z. The relation AD minus BC is equal to 1 holds for AD minus BC cos H square YZ minus sin H square YZ is equal to 1. So our condition is satisfied. Now equation 13 and 14 can be written in a matrix form of ABCD. So VS IS is equal to ABCD VR IR. So we can put our values replace with the ABCD. So A is cos H gamma L, B is a ZC sin H gamma L, C is a 1 upon ZC sin H gamma L, and D is a cos H gamma L VR IR. Now, after ABCD parameter, we will understand the surge impedance of transmission line. What is the surge impedance? The square root of ratio of line impedance Z and shunt impedance Y is called as the surge impedance Z0 of the line. So as you see in the equation, Z0 is equal to under root Z by Y, where Z is equal to R plus Jx and Y is equal to G plus JB is common. Characteristic impedance ZC has also been defined in the same way. Characteristic impedance and surge impedance both are almost same. Actually, characteristic impedance is a more correct nomenclature. Surge impedance is the characteristic impedance of loss-free line. For a heavy copper conductor and well-insulated line, the resistance R and leakage conductance G can be taken as 0. I repeat, for heavy copper conductor, pure conductor, heavy copper conductor, where the loss are negligible, and so and well conductor, so well insulated line where resistance and leakage conductance are nil, it is can be taken as a 0, and therefore Z surge impedance Z0 is equal to under root L by C, which is a pure resistance. Its value varies between 400 ohm and 600 ohm. In case of overhead transmission lines, and between 40 ohm and 60 ohm in case of underground cables. So students, I hope you understand all the transmission line thoroughly throughout our first lecture, short transmission line, then medium, then long transmission line, and surge impedance of transmission lines. It is very important for uh, uh, theory papers and for the understanding of calculation with a different method. We can complete this lecture of transmission line here, and you can go through my first lecture of short transmission line, medium and long, so you can better understand the overall behavior of transmission line with different parameters variations. Okay, thank you very much.